In this video, I'm going to explain the different components of an introduction paragraph for your poetry analysis essay using this example and annotating the example for the elements in this checklist. Before watching this video, make sure that you've completed the handout. You should have read this paragraph and labeled each of these elements in the paragraph: the hook, the transition, the information about the poem, and the thesis statement. If you haven't done so yet, please pause the video and complete the handout before continuing. So now, a good introduction is going to grab the reader's attention, give a little bit of background info so the reader understands what the essay is about, and then give the thesis statement that previews the argument throughout the whole essay. Let's start with the hook. Your good hook is going to be a quote, an anecdote or story, a statement, or a rhetorical question that captures your reader's attention, makes the reader interested in the topic and wants to learn more. The hook should also relate to your thesis somehow. Your hook should never use the word you, and make sure you don't have a cheesy, cliched question like, have you ever felt sad? Those questions are not appropriate for a high school or college level essay. Hooks are usually the first sentence, so let's look at our first sentence here. As humans, we often fear those who are different from us. This works as our hook. It is a statement. It is a bold statement. It is provocative. It is a strong opinion, and has some pretty significant implications for how human society functions. So this works as our hook. It is a statement. Next thing we're looking for is the transition between the hook and the background information about the poem. You want to make sure that you move from this big idea you threw out there in your hook and the specific poem you're going to be analyzing. So the next few sentences make this transition smoothly. So first we have a sentence that clarifies the hook. In difficult times we band together with people we consider similar, and we protect ourselves from those we view as foreign. And then we further expand upon the hook, and we're starting to preview the concept of Japanese-American internment, which is what we're getting into later in the paragraph. We can become so afraid that we forget to feel basic empathy and compassion for people who are unlike ourselves. So these sentences I'm transitioning. I'm starting my transition. Let's keep going. Fear of foreign spies led the United States to order the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II, forcibly imprisoning tens of thousands of innocent people. So now I've moved from the big idea of humans fearing people who are different to the specific historical instance of Japanese internment, which is what the poem is about. So these three sentences are our transition. Transition from the hook to the poem. The next part of my hook is the information about the poem. I want some sort of background information. I want to know who the poet is, the poem title, what the poem's about. We have it here. Poet Dwight Okita captured the injustice of this experience in his deceptively simple poem in response to Executive Order 9066. Information about the poem. I have the poet's name, Dwight Okita. I have some information about what the poem is about. So it's about the injustice of this experience being Japanese internment, which I mentioned in the previous sentence. And I have a little information about the style of the poem. I know that it's going to be deceptively simple. And then I have the poem's title. Finally, our last sentence is the thesis statement. Note in my thesis statement, I have three devices: symbolism, connotation, and tone. And then I have the theme: fear does not justify the violation of human rights. Notice that I only use the poet's last name, Okita. Since I gave his first name in the prior sentence, I don't need to say his first name again. When you're talking about an author, you usually refer to them only by their last name. And that concludes this video. breaking down the introduction paragraph for your poetry analysis essay.